This is our second Audiobooks Radio e-newsletter update for everyone who's out there who's interested really in storytelling. That's what it's about. I'm going to be interviewed by Loretta Jessop.
Hello, and it's spring. How nice is that?
Oh, it's only just started.
I'm just happy that it's warmer, longer days.
Yeah. I actually went to Melbourne to get warm from Sydney. Sydney's been villainously cold.
Yeah.
I really love connecting with the crew and the tribe that are building in Melbourne.
Yeah, and you met with Andrew again?
I did. I met with Andrew Farrell. So we're sort of progressing on trying. Really, the mission was to try and get information for authors and self-published people and small publishers about the mysteries of distribution, because
it is all quite hazy, isn't it?
It's not only hazy. I think that that platform has become very complex and sophisticated, and even though I'm only looking at the audiobooks part of it, you can't help but mess with the other platforms as well. And just understanding that there's a real science to it that maximises really the royalties for authors once they self-publish.
And what we've learnt along this journey so far is there are a lot of operators out there that might have lucrative offers and a lot of authors might grab at them or pick them up without realising the hidden costs.
It's the hidden costs. It's very confusing for people. So what we've done is basically we've interviewed Andrew. And as you know, Angelo is a self-confessed nerd. You know, it's very complicated. What he does is complicated, but we got Kristen Kelly, who's our crew, interview him, and it's down to a one-page graphic depiction of what distribution is all about. Yeah. And also sewing up that little bit of a relationship with Andrew so that we can seamlessly pass things on to him so that when we've produced the audiobook to our standards and his standards, he can upload them so that they can go out to every global platform in a way that allows ease of receipt of royalties by the author themselves. So that's the whole process. That's closing the loop for me.
Fantastic.
So I just want to be able to offer that so that it's less of a headache for the author.
And on that note, you've been meeting with Busybird as well.
Yeah. I've been wanting to create collaborative relationships with publishers that I can trust with authors. So often an author will come to me and will have a manuscript and it's been, you know, it's in the various states of play, that manuscript. Yeah. They're really, you know, when you finish a book, man, you know, like it's the most exciting thing. Yeah. Like we're both in the process of doing that and it's sort of like finish that first draft and it's an amazing sense of achievement. So proudly, here's my manuscript and some people haven't gone down the publishing route in any of the other platforms, ebook, print on demand and audiobook. That's obviously the trifecta is the perfect way to go. So when people ask me for advice, I feel like it was worthwhile me doing my homework and finding people who can provide a good suite of services that are cost effective and are going to respect the author. And Kev Howlett and Busybirds is a person that I would put very definitely in that category.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah, it is. It is because, you know, it's a bit of a wilderness, the whole publishing world, and to actually, you know, through word of mouth get to know about each other, sit down and sort of like do a bit of face-to-face, eye-to-eye, and then, you know, sharing really a vision and heart and going, yeah, I think we can work together, you know, in that collaborative way and happy and trustful of sending people your way. And and I think what we've been talking about is like we want to treat authors with the same type of respect we'd like to be treated.
Oh, definitely, yeah. We had a wonderful meeting yesterday.
Yes.
We went to Eastside.
We did. Yeah. We went to Eastside Radio, which is, you know, community radio is very close to my heart. I've worked there for many, many years. And Eastside has got a fabulous reputation. They're sort of located in the eastern suburbs of...
Fabulous arts program too for their radio.
Yeah. So they've got that arts focus. And you and I pitched a radio program we'd like to do, you know, on new writers and writing. So that's one aspect of it, but we also had the little link where one of the broadcasters, one of the people who work as a volunteer at Eastside Radio, auditioned for one of our books.
Yeah.
And she was selected by the author. A very big, beautiful group of voices. We boiled it down to 8. I couldn't do it any smaller than that. And
because usually it's about 4 or 5, isn't it?
Usually it's 4 or 5. But because, James Beckingham, the author of Songforge, had provided a large scope of voices that he wanted. And I wanted him to have a little taste of each of those ranges. And because it's a dystopian novel, it's more like a completely fantasy novel, with a samurai element.
Yeah.
It's a global product, so it's full of adventure and excitement. And he chose 2 very exciting little parts of the book to be, scripted as the audition. So people's voice was tested, during that. And it was full of movement and colour and, excitement.
Yeah, it's one of the more adventurous narrations we've done so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And we had everything from a deep, rolling English-type Caribbean voice to a transgender voice that was melodic and harmonic and everything in between.
Yeah.
It was a great meeting with Tony.
The manager.
Tony Smythe, the manager, and he's been a manager there for 15 years.
Yeah.
And, we had met before in our, realm within community broadcasting. And he's very caring and careful of his station. And it was a conversation that covered a lot of aspects, but he was really keen to support Yasmin, who's one of his volunteers, to get, to be able to build up her skills as a narrator, for audiobooks, which is such a burgeoning, growing area. So it was exciting for all of us.
Yeah.
And Yasmin's super excited. She'll be meeting James Beckingham by Zoom tomorrow morning for the first time.
Oh, great. And production will start in about 2 weeks.
It will start in 2 weeks. So, there's a little bit of lead up. Yasmin will take away the book and be reading it and sort of prepping herself.
Get across the characters, get a feel for it.
Get a feel for it. And then on the 14th of September, it'll start rolling. And I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to working more with James because he and his whole family are involved. So they all listen to the auditions and, they make they had a vote and, they agonised over the right voice. So it was, he is a lovely person.
I think the writing is quite a solitary experience. So it's nice now for him to bring out his story and be able to share it with his family and work on it together.
Yeah. Well, as you know, we interviewed Christina Percival earlier, who's a narrator who's just finished Zoe Routh's The Olympus Project. And the way that she talked about the book and how, despite her best efforts, she was immersed in each of the characters and it was telling them no, don't make this decision. And I think that's what authors need to know, is that the narrator is that one other person in the whole world who's going to know every word of your book as closely as you do, unless you get an amazing copy editor. And as a copy editor, very often you have to, kind of keep your distance a little bit. But as the narrator, mouthing all those, the dialogue and the characters.
Very intimate.
It is intimate, but it's also an intimate experience for the listener. I think the intimacy of getting something right in your ear, you want to treat that experience for the listener with respect, so you're getting the right voice, you're getting a voice that, believes in the characters and the story and is giving the best possible experience for the author and for the listener. Yeah.
We've also been working on some collateral to try and get them before the ears with the eyes, right? So we've been working on some brochures to sort of just describe a little bit more, tell the story of Audiobooks Radio so we can get that out there and spread who we are. Yeah. And that's almost wrapping up.
Yes. Well, our marketing has been very minimal. I'm always threatening that I'm going to launch. But instead I got this... we thought I got enough inquiries from people saying, have you got something I can just read? Because, the website is quite minimalist and I really am putting much more effort into carrying out jobs that come to our door.
Yeah. Because word of mouth is spreading. There's a lot of people knocking,
Yeah, so people are knocking on the door. So that's happening organically. But then again, when people make a simple inquiry or say, I want to recommend your services, give me something written. Then I got this amazing woman, her name was Loretta Jessop. and she knocked it up for me. It's actually really beautifully done. Yeah. And we already it was first day, hot off the press, and sent it off to an inquiry, and the person, wrote back saying, this is brilliant information and well done.
Great.
So thank you, Loretta.
Thank you. But if anyone wants, a brochure to send on to friends or family, certainly they should send it on. Yeah, I think we're going to put it on our website as well once that's finished. We'll also have then Andrew Farrell's, kind of form on what distribution means and how that works. Yeah. Just so it keeps on informing, our people, our growing tribe of people who are interested in turning their books, into sound. So in terms of upcoming events, what have we got? I know we've got the Small Press Network. Oh, yes. In November. Look, I had the pleasure of meeting in person Tim Coronel, who's the CEO of the Small Press Network. He's a person who's been in, it's the peak body for small publishers in Australia. And he's been in publishing and is a word nerd from way back. Wonderful person to deal with. And last year he had invited me to be on a panel for the conference last November. That was about audiobooks. This year he invited me to give a workshop on audiobooks. Yeah, that's going to be really fun. It is going to be fun because we've decided we're going to do a role play and really give participants an idea of what they face as an author when they decide that, or are trying to decide to turn something into an audiobook. Yeah. So we'll be giving some information and data and then a little bit of a role play, because after all, we've got a lot of performance. Yeah. we've got a lot of talent. Yeah, so I think that's a good summary, I think. There's so much more, but I think we should just stop it there. Yeah. Look forward to talking to you again next month, Loretta. Lovely talking. Yeah. If you would like a brochure, definitely send an email our way or just link into any of our social media. See you next time, everyone.